Good evening, Copites. Welcome to Copites of Anfield. So this video is about my Wonderkids series. I've got a very special guest with me tonight. Someone I've get on really well with. Been talking to a lot over the last couple of weeks. I think a lot of you don't know who it is, and I'm going to bring him in right now. It's my good friend Daryl Kensington.
Good evening, all. How are you doing, man?
What we're going to do is we're going to talk about the Wonderkids, of course. So I've got a few topics that we're going to go over. Me and Daryl are big fans of Wonderkids. We love to see kids getting a chance at clubs rather than just keep spending money on all these big Europeans. My opinion is I think it's ruined football in total. To be honest, the amount of money that's involved now, it's more of a business than it is about football now. What's your thoughts, Daryl?
You're probably not far off the mark. I mean, you look at one of the kids you've done in videos before, Barcelona's Lamine Yamal, and then you look, if somebody wants to sign him now without having to speak to Barcelona, they're going to have to pay around about just under £870 million, which is 1 billion euros, and that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. There's no club going to pay that. I don't even think a Saudi club would be willing to invest that investment into one player, even though he's got 15 to 20 years left in his career. It's still a crazy investment, and there's no idea proof. I'll start out again. There's no proof he's going to settle in another environment or another club anyway.
No.
And with the financial regulations we have in the UK at the minute, you'd need at times to really focus on your youth. I mean, most successful side in recent years, if you even discount the 6 million charges that they're probably going to be hit with or not hit with, who knows? That's Man City. But what they have done, they've sold players on for a profit. Cole Palmer, for example.
Yeah.
Academy player went to Chelsea.
They regret that though, don't they? Apparently, I read somewhere a while back that they're on about offering Chelsea 120 million to get him back. Now, I don't know if that's rumours or not, but that's 80 million profit for Chelsea.
Bought him for, it was just under 50 million, was it 50? Was it 45, 50 million?
Something like that, yeah.
Without looking at it.
Player. Absolutely brilliant.
And then you look at us, we brought in Trent Alexander-Arnold. If we'd sold him with, say, 2 years left on his contract at the peak of his game, how much money is he fetching? How much would Gerrard have fetched in his day?
Exactly.
It's just crazy money. And with PSR, FFP, whatever you want to call it, in 2025, you need to bring those young players in. An example of a club needing to sell and going to possibly have to rely on youth players because of that is Man United. They're having to rely on Ahmad.
I like him. He's a good player.
Kobe Mainoo. Newcastle have had to sell players for PSR, and they're probably the richest club around. Hypothetically, if you go off, owners' wealth, but obviously in terms of revenue, Newcastle can't bring in what, say, Real Madrid would bring in, or Barcelona, or us, or Man United, or say even Arsenal. Arsenal probably got a bigger global fan base, I think. I may be wrong. If somebody has, please let us know. But they've got, is it Miley, the young midfielder?
Yeah.
They've got him, but they've brought through, not only have they done youth, they've brought through players that are not high profile and developed from. So they're using the sell to buy to sell model.
Yeah.
But they've had great players come through.
Well, it's a step with Barcelona, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the players that's come through, going back to Newcastle, Gaza.
Yeah, Gazza was
Going further
my
back,
favourite player that's
Watford,
still
John
playing at
Barnes.
Liverpool. Yeah, yeah. I mean, even us, we've had what, McManaman, Fowler, Owen,
Gerrard.
uh, Gerrard, Carragher, Trent,
Trying to
Kelleher,
think.
Bradley. Over the years, we've produced some really good talent.
I'm
But
trying to think of the
unfortunately,
others.
we've let a lot go as well. I mean, I was surprised last summer when we let Bobby Clark go. I thought he was a real prospect. And then there's also, you've got Bajcetic. We don't know what's going to happen with him in the summer. You've got Ben Doak, is another one that we've brought in. We don't know what's going to happen with him. So, I mean, we've got a really good youth system. I would say there's only Ajax that have got a better youth system than us.
Ajax have had it historically when you look through, going back to Van Basten's era.
Yeah, Dennis Bergkamp,
Bergkamp.
Suarez, Overmars, Clement Seedorf,
That
Jaap Stam, Van der Sar. They've had some brilliant talent, haven't they?
and you're getting some managers who are bringing in younger players, not via the academy, but they'll buy a younger player, say 17, 18, and then bring them through. I mean, we brought through, I don't know how old he was when we signed him, but say Harvey Elliott, he wasn't exactly very old when we bought him, and it feels like he's been there for years.
Yeah.
Um,
Another one we brought in as well was Sterling. When we brought him in from QPR, what was he, 15 or something?
Yeah.
Very similar to that Rio Nagamoa, the one that I did one on the series on. We brought him in at 15, didn't we? But I would say
there was a defender as well, but
Sterling.
they brought a defender in from City, if I remember rightly, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
And if you go even further back, and I think we'll go into the 90s, early 2000s, there was the legal battle between, correct me if I'm wrong, Man United and Chelsea over Jean Obi Mikel.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. What, he just about to sign for United, and then he changed his mind last minute or something.
I think it was. But
yeah, I remember that.
Going for the youth, and I'll quote an ex-Liverpool player here, famously said, "You can't win a league with kids." Alan Hansen.
Yeah.
And they did. And that was a team of Giggs, Beckham, Scholes,
Neville's.
Neville's. Lee Sharp wasn't very old in that era.
No. But what was I going to say then? Going back to our generation of kids, I mean, when we had Sterling and people like that coming through, I thought we had a brilliant. We had Jamie Redknapp in the past as well, haven't we? He was a good player. I know he was injury prone, but he was another good player. We've had some real good talent in our youth system. Then you've got Trey Naoni that we've just brought from West Ham.
He was well regarded as a kid. He was Jamie Redknapp at school. I was a few years. Yeah, I was a few years below him. I was at the same. I came from the same area he was from. So
wow, I didn't know that.
he was known. He was born in Barton on the south coast.
Right.
So he was known on the south coast. Yeah, and then he was Bournemouth, West Ham, I believe. And then we got him. I'm sure he was at West Ham, or was that Frank Lampard?
Frank Lampard was West Ham, wasn't he? I think we got him from Southampton or Bournemouth.
I will.
So what was he like at school then? Was he a bit of a jack the lad, or?
Oh, he's a fair bit older than me, so I was nowhere near his year group, which is he was known as being a good player.
Yeah, definitely a pretty boy, wasn't he? Him and his pop star wife.
Oh,
Louise, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a bit tidy, wasn't she? In a heyday, like. Was it Eternal or something she was in?
Oh God, no idea.
I think it was Eternal.
I'm just gonna. I'm going. While we're on about Jamie Radcliffe, I'm just gonna quickly look.
So yeah, I just want to, while Daryl's doing that, I just want to talk about this series, this Wonderkids series. So the Wonderkids series was partly Daryl's idea, to be fair. I mean, Daryl was the one who said to me, "Why don't you do something on Wonderkids instead of come away from the Liverpool side of it?"
And you were
And I
spot on
said
with
to him,
both.
"Yeah, why not?" And he said, "Well, I'll help you out because I know quite. He watches a lot of youth football. Well, I haven't really watched
I
youth
tried
football.
to. I
Probably
tried to.
2010. But I've got a few categories I want to discuss with him to do with Wonder Kids because he really is a fountain of knowledge. He knows so much about Wonder Kids.
Just
But
need Martin.
you've got to bear in mind, none of us are very good at pronouncing names. So you'll have to excuse us with that. Even we might have to use just first names. But the first thing I wanted to ask you, Daryl, was if you were to pick a top 5 best Wonder Kids in the world, any position, what would it be?
Um,
Obviously, we've
I
mentioned Yamal,
know.
haven't we? So you'd probably
I
put
know.
Yamal at number 1.
You have to have Lamine Yamal in there. Probably the best right-sided player potentially in the world. He's not the best right-sided player now, but the potential he's got, the ceiling he could hit, is immense. He's at the right club. To be fair, Barcelona have a history of getting the best out of players. I mean, didn't do Lionel Messi any harm, did it?
No, exactly.
So you have to have him. So it's actually it's the 4 plus Lamine Yamal. One player, and I know he's at Man United, but if he moved on, I think he could have a heck of a career. I think he's at the wrong club for his development right now, and that's Kobe Mainoo. I think if he was at, if look at him, he's very box to box. He's very athletic. If you put him in, say,
Real Madrid or
alongside
something like that.
Pavlovic in Bayern, I reckon you'd see a much different player. He's
Yeah,
sort of literally whole with Ugarte and Casemiro at the minute. Ugarte's a good player. Casemiro was a good player. He's not the player he was. I'd
no,
put him. You covered another player, another midfield player, Warren Zaire-Emery.
yes. I believe
He,
we're interested in him.
he's a good player. He's a sort of criteria PSG are looking for as well. They're going for the younger player now. They're not splashing out the millions that they did with Neymar.
No, but I
So
believe he's when he worth like is it 60 million that I've seen somewhere for that Emery? He would be a bargain. Is what is he 18?
I think he's 19 soon. Let's have a look. Excuse me while I try and find him. Warren Zaire-Emery. All right, where is he? Turns 20 in 2026. So yeah, he's 19 this year.
Right. Good.
So
It's
you're looking
really good
at, for
talent.
his type of player, you're probably looking at getting 15, 16 years worth out of 60 million. Get him now, develop him, keep him.
Yeah.
That 60 million is going to double, triple easily.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially the way that football's going now as a business. I mean, prices are through the roof. All your TV money and everything's all going up again. With all these state-owned companies, especially business owners, especially if City win this court case, you may as well scrap FFP, and then it's just a free for all, in my opinion.
I have no idea where the City case is going. I'm not even going to think. I'm just going to roll with it, I think. I'm just going to expect nothing to happen, and then anything else is
That's
bonus.
where I'm at with it. Because if they were really that worried, why would they spend 200 million in January?
Well, there was rumours that they might be hit with transfer bans, so that would make sense. They did buy in a good young Brazilian defender, so I'm assuming that is for the future. They brought in Kusanov from Lens, was it? And I've never seen him play before. So my experience of him was him messing up against Chelsea. That was the first I'd seen of him. But yes, he made mistakes. He got booked and gave away a goal. But there is some composure there. I think there's a good defender in there. It just needs the right coaching, whether that is Pep, whether that is somebody else, that is history to dictate. They brought the two defenders in. They brought in
Mamouche.
the midfielder. They brought in the midfielder, who's a fantastic midfielder, Gonzalez. And Mamouche needs no introduction. In fact, Eintracht Frankfurt are lucky because they've got two strikers. And I have no idea how old the other one is.
I like that French kid. Is it Ekitia something?
Yeah, he's be 23 this year.
He looks like a good player.
He is a good player. They work well with him and Mamouche. So Frankfurt, if they lose him, a blow for next year because they've just lost Mamouche and losing him and all. He's more than a goal every 2 games. But going back to the top 5, what do I have? Yamal, Mainu, Zaire-Emery. Next one I'm going to go. Then, well, in fact, the last 2 are hailing from Spain in terms of where they're employed. One's Brazilian. Maybe going back to Brazil, we don't know. And that's you'll probably know the striker, Roque.
Yeah, Victor Roque.
Yeah, he's a very, very good player. Currently at Betis, but could be going back to Palmeiras. They're interested in him. Whether they've firmed that interest up, I don't know, but they have until next week because the Brazilian window, I believe, shuts on the 28th. Right. I'll let somebody in the comments reply to that and say, yes, it is the 28th. I'm not looking that one up. I'm 99% sure it's the 28th of Feb because he's Barcelona contracted on Monterreal. And the other one is at Real Madrid, midfielder, young. See if you can guess who it is. And it's not Rodrigo or Vinicius. If I give you his initials, AG.
AG. Alexis Garcia.
Arda Güler.
Arda Güler, yes.
Yeah, the Turkish player.
Yes. Yeah, he's a real talent. I watched him at the Euros for Turkey, and what a player.
Mm-hmm.
So the next thing, we'll try and get through them a bit quicker. So we've got best 11 Wonderkids.
Best 11?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is a tricky one for you, this one. This is testing your knowledge.
Yeah. Keepers. I was trying to think of keepers.
There's that lad you mentioned to me, isn't there? Is it Anderlecht? Begins with V. Verboegen or something?
Who did I mention?
Somewhere in Belgium.
Let's have a look back. I've just had it as well. The one who's oh no, it's not him. I was thinking of
Trying to think if I've got him in my notes somewhere. Van der Voot, is it?
Oh, he's at Leipzig. Martin van der Voort. Leipzig. He's currently back up to Peter Galassi, our ex-keeper.
Ah, right.
Yeah, he's a good keeper.
Is that
Southampton had a good keeper. For Wonderkids,
I'm thinking about the one that went to Brighton from Anderlecht. He began with V as well, didn't he? What was he called?
Oh, the Brighton keeper. Oh,
yeah, he begins with V as well, doesn't he? Let's just have a look.
Yeah, he also scored an own goal in the FA Cup against Chelsea.
Brighton keeper.
Is the Brighton keeper not Dutch?
Yeah, he is, yeah. He's called Bart Verbruggen.
Yeah, he's a good keeper. He's what, 24?
22.
22?
Yeah. He's Dutch. And they got him from, I'm sure it was Anderlecht. Yeah, Anderlecht. He played for Anderlecht, but he started his youth career at Brenda. NAC Brenda.
NAC Breda, yeah, in Holland. 22. Excuse the noise in the background.
You're all right, mate. I've muted it. You can't hear anything in the background. I've put noise reduction on.
Right. Yeah, he'd be a good shout for a keeper. Defensive. I'm trying to think. Left backs. You could go Hato, Mascara, Barde. This is just real. I've been put on the spot of names off the head that I know. I tend to not really focus on defensive players. I tend to know more on the attacking ones. And there's one right back I know that Kylian Mbappe is a huge fan of. I'm really impressed with him. Some Irish kid called Bradley.
Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
I've never seen his tackle.
Yeah, Mbappe's so impressive. And he went head over heels, and yeah, I'll never forget that tackle. Midfield, I'm going to stick with Gula. Hillman of Sporting.
Yeah.
And I don't know how old is he classed as a young wonder kid now? Andre Wolves? Would he be a wonder kid technically now? How old is he? If not, I would go Mainu. I'm just trying to, because where do you put wonder kids? Do you put 21 and under, 22 and under? Keepers, you give a bit of a leeway because they play to like 40.
What about Gittins? Would you put him in your midfield?
I would put him wide. He's a winger. I'd put.
So are we sticking with?
If I was going to go front three, I might go Yamal, Nico Williams, Hendrick, I think.
Hendrick's a good player, really good player.
You could swap.
A lot.
I'm deliberately ignoring the obvious talents of Rodrigo, Vinicius Jr., players like that because
ridiculous.
Yes, they're talented. I don't think they're a wonder kid. I think we know who they are. They're established.
Exactly.
To me, a Wonder Kid is the likes of years ago, Freddie Adu, the 15-year-old American superstar that ultimately did nothing, but he had the world at his feet and did nothing with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
It's a great team. So now we're on to the good stuff. What would you say in at Liverpool this summer?
who would fit in? What was that? Who are we bringing in? Was that?
Yeah. So let's say,
Oh,
for example, Trent Alexander-Arnold goes, Gomez goes, Simicast goes, Endo goes, Diaz
so
goes.
so let's go. We've got Trent. That's a right back. Gomez. That's a versatile. That's across the back four. Shimikas. That's a left back. Endo. That's a holding midfielder. Diaz. That's your left winger.
And that's we're not including Salah and Van Dijk in this because I think they're both going to stay. So we're not going to overcomplicate
I'm
it.
picking Darwin out as well. He can go. Sorry, Darwin Nunes fans, but he's rubbish. He can go.
Yeah, Nunes has to go. That's 100%.
Right. So let's have a look. Left back. We need a new left back.
See, what my
Some
thoughts are,
people
I don't know what
think.
you think of this.
Some
I was,
people think Perkez is a Man United fan, and after what I saw at Anfield last week, I'd have to say Aiton Nori would be a good fit. He looks determined. He doesn't look like he's a quitter. He looks like he's a fighter. He
yeah,
looks like he's got something about him, much as I'd love Perkez as well. That would do the left back.
I
You've
was
mentioned
thinking,
Gomez going.
yeah,
Sorry,
what about, I've got one for you. Rather than thinking of two separate players to replace Gomez and
I'm thinking of
Simica,
Cato.
Hato, that's what I'm thinking. Because then you'd be doing one then, and then it still leaves you a little bit of money to get another centre back.
My worry is Aiton Nori is very experienced and knows the Premiership, Premier League,
Yeah,
whatever you want to call it. Hato does not. Hato has got no experience. Is he going to fit the void? Aiton Nori is not going to need to adapt to the pace.
no,
Eredivisie and Premier League, the physicality and the pace, which they are played at, are very different. That's where I'd go with Nori, and to replace Gomez, I'd bring in Hato. You could bring him in and develop him.
yeah.
Trent,
Would you be comfortable with Bradley as your number one, or would you have to bring somebody in with more experience?
I would be comfortable with Bradley, and to be honest, I don't know what right back would go in that would fit the system, that would want to be an understudy. I could think of players that could come in. You could raid Forest. You could bring Kimmich back to a right back. You could go for Frimpong. Don't think that's the way to go. It might be a good idea to look to see what we have lower down, like in the reserves. You've say we win the league, we've won it by, let's say, 5-6 games to go. Fantastic, with no pressure for those last 6 games. But that also might be a good time to look at a younger right back that we've got already at the club and see what they've got with no pressure.
You
And I
mean
would
like Mabaya?
maybe. And I
Or
would go.
what about the lad that's gone out on loan? Ramsey? Do you rate him?
I've seen
Calvin
not.
Ramsey?
I've seen very little of him, but you wouldn't be able to look at him for those 8 games, 6, 7, 8 games if we won it. That's the thing. If he's
No.
away, I would look. He would be an option to be an understudy, but I'd look to see what we've got elsewhere. And then we've got Endo. Well, that's it. I can rattle off Joe Gomez there of Wolves straight away. Not a debate on that one. I do like Andre, but I think Gomez would be a better fit. We've got, much as I like the likes of Hjulmand and Edison and Varela, Gomez knows the league.
Do you think?
And I've got a feeling if it's going to be a summer of transition, which it very well could be, I'd rather they got just adjusted to this club and the playing style, not club, playing style and league. I'd rather not have to settle somebody into a foreign climate that they don't know. Like all of them. And Diaz, that depends, because it depends on what you want to spend on a striker.
Do you think Zubamendi's dead? Do you think that could be resurrected?
I don't know, because there's the Arsenal links, the Real Madrid links. If he comes available and he is definitely up for the move and he would come, 100% would come, I'd be happy to have him.
I think the only issue for me would be if Alonso takes the Real Madrid job, I think he goes to Real Madrid.
Very, very possible, but I've got a feeling he might raid. Leverkusen. There's also Stiller, who's a good midfielder. But I would go with Gomez, I think, first, because he doesn't need to adapt.
Yeah. So that's two players from Wolves. Oh, yeah. You mean the Brighton midfielder?
No, João Gomez, the Wolves holding midfielder.
Right. So we're raiding Wolves so far.
Sorry, Wolves fans, if I pick Cunha, I haven't decided yet. If Shota goes as well, I'd raid Cunha. But we've just said Darwin. I can see if you're getting Wolves fans coming, I do apologise. My choice is not Gareth's. Blame me. I don't think Isaac's doable. I know there's Indy on X has said that we can do it, and there's various ITKs says we can do it. No, not a chance. Not for 120 to 150 million.
What I found funny was the rumour that I'd seen that we were going to offer money plus Nunes for Isak.
What? So we're going to offer them 150 million plus Nunes? Okay. Because I wouldn't want Nunes. Not after Villa. Not after Villa. Strikers. Oh, there's some good ones. I do like Vlahovic at Juve, mainly due to the fact he's been dropped. He was playing well, and then he's just been dropped. He's on the bench because they got in Muani from PSG, and Muani is literally scoring for fun. So why do you drop Muani? So Vlahovic is on the bench. I would consider him. Hugo Ekitike. Apologies for the pronunciation of Eintracht Frankfurt. Another good shout. I'd love it if we could beat Palmeiras and steal Roque from Barcelona, but that's not happening. I do like Alvarez, who Man City had, and he was in Bilbao, but that's not happening. I think the fact he played for Man City might cause a few problems.
I'm just looking at the list that you sent me. So you've got that Castro.
Mm-hmm.
Very good player. You've got Ryan Cherky. But he's more of a winger.
I would go for him if Salah goes. I mean, yes, he's in a different league than say that he's matching the numbers and he's going to be cheaper. FSG are not spending 80, 90 million on a midfielder when there's one that's doing similar numbers for 20 to 30, if less.
Yeah, but don't forget, we've got a 200 million war chest.
Supposedly, I'll believe it when I see it.
I don't think it's a war chest. I think it's you selling players and then you've got the money what you sell. But what makes me laugh is they said that they've never took any money out of the club. I've heard that before as well.
I mean, I don't know if you saw the Craig Mantle agenda and he responded to who was it he responded to, and because he called him a coward, and he responded to Craig. Craig was spot on in his assessment over the so-called top reds and whatnot and things. He was spot on in his rant. But going back to topic, I'm going to say, much as I like that Eintracht striker, you might have to bring somebody in that knows the league. We're not left. And how many strikers are banging in the goals left, right, and centre? Bar Haaland. I'm not getting Chris Wood. Sorry, too old. I do like Job. Is it João Pedro?
Yeah.
Right. I like him. I would also monitor, see what happens there. The one who's at loan on Tottenham.
Yeah, looks like a good player.
He is a good player. He found it really hard last year because he had Harry Kane in front of him, and Harry Kane on form is really hard to dislodge.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Harry
See,
Kane,
if it wasn't for his age, I'd bring Harry Kane in to replace Nunez. I really would. Can you imagine Kane in our team with the chances that Nunez has missed? He would be unbelievable, but he's what, 31?
I'll take Rushy over Nunez.
Bring him out of retirement.
I'll take Keegan over Nunez.
Yeah.
The left wing, because I've gone for Pedro, and I think he's going to be cheaper than a Kit Kat, or much as there's some great young strikers across Argentina, Portugal, Brazil. It's them adapting as well. You need them to hit the ground running. You need them with experience of the league. I think if you're changing a striker, or you need somebody who's proven it in multiple leagues. So a 21-year-old's not going to do it. You're looking at a 25, 26-year-old, I think. And I don't think FSG are going to do that. So it might be Ray Prem. Left wing, if Diaz goes, but it's going to be cover, because you're going to be covering Cody. I don't see how you can kick him out. He's been sensational.
No, he can't go.
Can't remember if he's left or right wing, but Sainz, the Spaniard at Norwich, who has been scoring goals. We still got Kaiser. You could bring Shirky in for the left, maybe.
Yeah, because he's only 18 million or something, isn't he?
I don't know how well Dom can play there. Could he do that permanently? But then if you're moving Dom there, you need another midfielder.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, he can play there. But is he a 60-game a season winger? That's the question.
No. Would you not give Rio a few more games next season?
If you were going to you are going to switch Dom there, and you've got Dom and Cody, you want a midfielder, create a midfielder, then you bring in Shirky, I think.
I like Shirky. I think he's really good, and he's very versatile as well.
His name escapes me. But the left winger at Brighton.
Mitoma.
Yes, he's good. Was it Mitoma that hit the Bergkamp-esque goal against Chelsea the other
Yeah,
day?
maybe. Yeah, I like him.
He'll be an option as well. So there is options there. It's what the budget is. What the budget is. Well, it's not only what the budget is; it's what the budget is per player. And then we've got uncertainty over 3 players. Well, I'd say uncertainty over 2 players, so we know one's off. Then again, we don't know because there was the videos, the information today of Valverde being a good right back, so that
Exactly.
could put that on the work. If Real suddenly said, right, we're not going for him, watch Trent's game pick up.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think he'd stay? If Real Madrid pulled out, do you think he'd stay at Liverpool?
I think he would. I think he would, because how many other clubs have just expressed an interest in trying to sign him?
Yeah.
Barcelona don't need him. And also Barcelona, like every other, they've got that 1-1 rule as well.
Yeah.
So they would have to ship somebody out for the wages, not for the side. And who do you ship out? PSG won't go there. They're going for the younger player. Bayern won't. I can't see him going to another Premier League side. I think he'd be absolutely slaughtered for that, and he'd be foolish.
What about Juventus or something like that? AC Milan.
Juventus, did they not just get Kelly from Newcastle?
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah.
I don't know I don't know the details of that. Whether it's a loan to buy, loan with a requirement to buy. Kyle Walker at Milan was a straight loan. No idea what's going to happen there, and no idea if he'll go back to City or stay. That leaves you a bit of uncertainty there for Milan and Juventus, because you don't know what they're going to do. The only other Italian club I can see would be Inter. But I don't see him fitting into the Inter style. Not at all. Inter have a good defence. Trent's weakness is defending. Great going forward. Can't fault his passing.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't rate him the best defensive right back in the world.
No.
And I think that might count against him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's a hard one. I think he might be forced to stay because of the options available. And that might be why Mo stays, because there's no realistic option. I mean, what was it? The report today that we'd offered an insane contract offer by offering him less. He's nearly 34. He's coming up to mid-30s. He is in the end of his career. There's no, sorry, Liverpool fans around the world, but Mo Salah is at the end of his career. He's not at the start of his career.
No.
We are going to have to start thinking of replacing him eventually. His performances will decline. But when, we don't know. Could be 2 years, could be 3 years, it could be next year. We don't know.
No, that's very true.
So
we've got two more topics. Well, the same topic. So we've got the best European league for Wonderkids and the best league in the world for Wonderkids.
Best European league? It depends on the player and where you look, because historically Holland's always been a hotbed.
Yeah.
Spain's always had good players. Well, look now who the reigning European champions are.
Yeah.
Look at the left and the right of that attack. Look where they play.
Yeah. And then you've also got Hendrick as well.
You've got Hendrick. Yeah, I'd say Spain and possibly Portugal. You look. I don't think you're beating Holland, Spain, and Portugal. I think in Europe, I think it's really hard. I mean, look what Amarim did for Sporting. Look what Slot did for Feyenoord. Look what Real Madrid and Spain have done consistently.
Yeah, and Atletico.
It's a tough one. And I think that's one that you probably need to really look in depth to see which club has produced who over a certain spell. I think it's a good question. It's a very hard one. But there's some good ones coming through in Germany as well, but I don't think to the extent that we're seeing elsewhere. What was the one? Best in the world?
Best in the world, yeah. So obviously we've got the main two, haven't we? Brazil and Argentina. But is there any other country that stands out to you?
Not yet, but don't. I bet if you revisit it, I'm going to guess, if you revisit in a decade and the way the investment is going and the way the league's going and the national team's going, don't rule out Australia for producing the odd gem.
Australia?
Yeah, not now, but in the future, there is the potential there. USA could hit there as well. There's been some good young players recently, but they're not there yet. But you could be looking at South America again, I think, because Man City have just brought a couple from over there. One's been part of recent tournaments and scored a few goals. They've just bought a Brazilian defender. And we've seen Chelsea have links to there as well.
So there is talks about the Edwards coming back in this multi-club at Liverpool. If you were to advise Edwards of a country to buy a club, what would it be? For me, I would say Portugal.
Yeah, I'd go for Portugal.
Because of the links between the amount of Brazilian players that go over there and South American players, it would help with the work permit side of it.
That's interesting with the work permit, because I'd love to know how Man City got that Brazilian player with less than a dozen appearances to his name. I'd like to know what they did to get around that. Do work permits not count now, or I don't know. But I didn't expect that to go through.
No, I didn't.
But Portugal would be a good shout.
Yeah, I mean,
because they go there before Spain as well. Portugal's a sort of a stepping stone.
Yeah, some players are starting to buy lower league teams as well, aren't they? Like Mbappe has bought a lower league team.
Was it Vinicius Junior's just done the same?
Vinicius Junior, yeah, that's another one. There's a few players that are doing it now. I mean, even Trent was looking at investing in the club, wasn't he?
Yes, there was a French club, if I remember rightly, but I have no idea if that went. I don't know whether that was shut down or whether that fell through. I'm not too sure about the scenario around that. But I remember the story. I'm sure it was a French club, him and his brother, I think.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Yeah, it was him and his brother, because his brother's his agent, isn't he? And it was some investors.
Mm-hmm. But
So that's another interesting one. I think that's it, mate. To be honest, that's all I've got wrote down. Is
that's
there anything
fine.
you want to discuss?
Club wise, we've got. Is it a? Could it be game of the key game of the season coming up Sunday
Yeah, I think it's a big, big game. I think we have to win that.
after Everton and Villa? Yes, we have to. Do you know? I would take a confident performance and a 1-0.
Yeah,
I think because the clean sheet's needed more than anything. That's what that disappointed me with Wolves. So we didn't have the clean sheet.
yeah,
Because we got the stuff they knocked out of us with Everton, and not because we were poor, but the way it went in so late. And that probably was a huge psychological kick in the teeth. Wolves, first half, I had no complaints, really. We played well.
yeah,
We controlled it, got the early goal, so it defeated any low block. But it was that second half, I don't know how it went to that. There was literally, I think they said at one point we were on, I think, 65 minutes and there'd been no shot from us on target. Officially from the 43rd. And I mean, I know we had the disallowed goal, but. And then we had Villa.
yeah,
1-0 lead, couldn't hold it, 2-1 down, got it back 2-2. Jota hits the bar. And then Nunes. Oh my dear days. How on earth? He's literally pretty much got an open goal, and I would say he was like 10, 12 yards out.
I wouldn't even say
Memory.
that. It's 6.
Was it 6? And he
Well,
puts
do
it. I mean,
you
I
remember?
know
Do
he was
you
on the
remember a
left.
series called Bloopers?
Yeah.
It'd have been on that. Do you remember that from about 20 years ago? It
Yeah.
used to be all the shittest misses and stuff. That'd be straight on that.
I mean, fair enough, he's to the left. But still, he had plenty of the goal. He should be hitting the target from there.
Yeah, he should. Shocking. I mean, I
It
get
wasn't
it.
a Ronnie Rosenthal, but at least that was rare, him doing that.
Yeah,
I'll
that was
never
shocking.
I'll not forget the Ronnie Rosenthal over the bar against Villa, I believe it was, in the I think we had the green away kit. I think it was 91, 92, or 1919, was it 1992 or the year before? We might have had the green kit. No, I don't know, but it was getting
Yeah,
trouble against Villa and he put it over the bar from 6 yards out or something.
yeah,
But he scored goals. Nunes doesn't score goals. He misses them consistently.
yeah. It
His
seems to be
speed
getting
of
worse.
thought is slow. He's not reacting quick enough. Some of the runs and passing, I mean, after he missed that chance, I think he was running about the penalty spot. I think he went to play Domin. I'm thinking he just hit the cuff flag. And I think the camera went straight to Dom, and it was like, what?
Yeah,
So, but we don't know whether Cody Gakpo's back. We're stuck with Trent because Bradley's out. That's a worry. We've only got one right back.
my worry is the midfield. Them three look shattered against Villa. Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Gravenberg.
I don't think all three will play. I think Jones will be in.
Yeah,
I've got a feeling it's going to be Maka, Jones, Grav, I think. Because I don't think Maka, yes, he played, but I don't think he was up and down like Don was. He was everywhere, what I saw. because I came back and it had just gone 2-1 when I got back in. And he was all over. And he was the same against Wolves. He was all over, controlling the game, and then we lost it. So I've got a feeling he'll go out just for rest, because I think he's more overloaded physically than Maka is at the minute. So I think those three will start.
Well,
it's going to be
Gravenberg 5.
He was shattered. I mean, the defense will probably. The defense is going to be Trent. It's going to be Virgil and Evo. Right back, it might City. I know there's a predicted lineup, but I don't know who's going to be playing down the right. For City, that's the thing. So I don't know which left back he'll go with. He might go with Simicast due to the fact Rob was just played against Wolves and Villa. Up front, I've got a feeling it's going to be Diaz on the left. We Jota down the centre. And Mo, who hasn't had a break. I think he's been rested for 3 games. PSV, Plymouth and Accrington.
Yeah.
I don't know. He may have even played in all the Carabao Cups. I don't get matches. I don't know. I can't remember. But he's not been rested.
No. So we're going for Alisson, Trent, Canate, Verge, Simicas,
Yeah.
Jones, McAllister, Soboslai, Salah, Jota, Diaz.
Yeah, possibly. You may even get Maka, Jones, Elliott. I don't think so. Just to give players a rest, and he's also a different type of midfielder. Then again, how many times have we predicted formations? We never predicted Robbo to play centre back against PSV, was it?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's going to definitely be interesting.
I don't think they're going to be seeing Haaland. That's one thing. I think Haaland's out. From what rumours are, it's surgery. Apparently, couldn't walk upstairs or something today. So you think he's struggling to walk up flight of stairs on a Friday? I don't see him match fit for a Sunday. I really don't.
There's rumours it'd be Marmoush up front.
Oh, that's a worry.
That's a massive worry. I really like him. I was gutted when he went to City.
It's just with the way our defence is playing at the minute, because the fullbacks are dropping off, like in terms of performance, and it's exposing the 2 in the centre.
Yeah, because he's electric.
Marmoush is strong. He's mobile, and he knows where the net is. Ask any Geordie that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do worry. But the midfield isn't great. I mean, what was it? They said, was it Dunk said in his brief thing that the fans thought Madrid were just normal and City were that bad. So that's a positive. They've got injuries. Apparently Stones is out. So they've got Akanji out. Was it Ake? One of the two's out. Stones possibly. They've got playing Gavardiol at left back, who's not a left back. They've been playing Nunes at right back, who's a midfielder. Ederson's been dropped a few times because of his performance.
Yeah, he's not the same as he was, is he?
No, he's doing the same as Ali. Ali's struggling as well. And if you looked at one of the stream today, somebody said he's not very popular in Brazil for his performances. So his days could be up as well.
I've seen that. Quite a few people have said that, haven't they? That Alisson could go.
I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he's earmarked to replace Neuer Bayern, to be honest. I would not. If it turned out he went to Bayern in the summer, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. See, I said quite a few months back on my channel that I thought that Kelleher might have stayed as the number one and Alisson goes and use Mamardashvili as the number two. That was my thought.
Well, he came out saying he's coming to fight for the number one, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's probably said that. I mean, I know he's not getting great ratings for La Liga, but to be fair, Valencia are not really setting the league alight. I feel sorry. He could be coming over thinking, right, I've got rid of that defence, and we're linked with the two Spanish centre backs.
Yeah.
It's like he could be coming over and getting his two ex-teammates along with him. I don't see it happening. One, maybe, not both.
No.
I would say probably more Mascara if the two, but
I don't really know
FSG
anything
do what
about any
FSG
of them.
do.
Yeah, I don't know anything about any of them, to be honest.
Yeah, FSG do what FSG do.
They do. Well, mate, it's been a pleasure talking to you. And
we've been on for a good hour.
Yeah, just over an hour.
I don't see
yeah.
it.
No,
It doesn't seem it.
No.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, I'll get this edited up, see if I can get the logo off it. I don't think I'll be able to, but I'll try. And I'll get it uploaded and give you a tag. But yeah, thanks for joining me, mate. And
Anytime.
I'll speak to you soon.
It's been a blast.